This is what you call a sport brake. To remove and replace the pads, first thing you need is pliers. I'm looking for these cotter pins. Grab those, pull them out. One. And I'm looking for the other one, but it might have moved a little bit. And if it moves, it's not such a big deal. I'm just going to get my screwdriver, Phillips head, and twist until something shows up. I hope you. There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to push these pins out. Sometimes it's so frozen, you have to fight them a little bit, like this one here. Actually, I have an idea. So this one's pushed out a little bit. I'm going to come at it with my pliers on the other side. So what I'm trying to do is pull that as best as I can. There you go. Wow, that took a while. So that's one. And to do this, that's my attempt at getting this thing out. Okay, it moved a little bit. Should be enough to get me some leverage on the other side. So I'm going to stick this in here. Okay, I feel like this is where we start massaging it. The vehicle spent about 7-8 years in the Rust Belt, so it shows. Yeah, so I have to take care of this while I still have a handle on it. Some emery cloth. I'm going to clean them while I'm here. It wouldn't be a bad idea to buy new pins whenever you can. Then this spring clip comes out. Not too much going on with it. Pretty simple, straightforward system. I'm going to clean it out too. Some people do a little more, you know, sand them down, or just buy new ones, but we're fine here. At this point, hopefully things are moving fairly well for you, that you would be able to remove your brake pads. So here we've got movement, and that's promising. So my idea is to use something to protect the other side of the caliper while I pry. And we'll see how that works. Doesn't always work very well, but hey, look at that. There we go. And like I mentioned, I mean, you might have seen the corrosion back there. You might be able to see it in the video. Sometimes they will fight you, but this one here is working well. So one down. It doesn't seem to really be moving. Oh, there you go. Here's something. Yeah, this looks pretty stuck on there. And that's unfortunate because I wanted to share my process. Thing is, I've seen this before. This has happened to me before. The inner one really gets stuck in there. And what I had to do is basically just remove the entire caliper and then remove it from the inside. To remove the caliper, it's pretty straightforward. You have this bolt over here. It's a 19 millimeter. You have another 19 millimeter down here. And so that's what I'm going to go for. So I've got my ratcheting breaker bar. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to go for the bottom one. This one here. Okay, so and here it is. So that's the thing that's been giving us grief. I'm going to do my best to pry at it from the back the front. I think we get way more leverage with this thing on the hub, on the knuckle rather. So I can't really do much prying on it right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just set this off to the side here, and then I'll jump onto the other part of the video that I need to do. So I'm going to take my rotor off and then bolt this back on and then just start prying on it. So to remove the rotor, first I'm going to push this rubber bung in. We're now committed because we don't have that. And somewhere in here, there is a gear, and this gear is for loosening the brake shoes. What I'm doing is, you're flipping something here, you're making it go up, up. And so let me just do this until the end, and then once I remove this and we can actually see clearly, I'll invite you guys to leave. When I go up like this screw basically brings this one in. So that's what happens. That's what I was trying to do. Basically, it's a game of, it's fractions of an inch, but it's enough to sometimes hold that rotor that you can't even get it out. So I hope seeing this helps clarify as to what we're doing, okay? Oh, here we go. I think I've hit the end of that, so that's good. At this point, we should be ready to remove this thing. There you go. Lovely. Okay. Hey, wow, that took a while. But before we jump into the installation, there's this part we need to address, which is, look at the thickness, all right? There's a little bit of a difference in the thickness, yet we still want these brake pads to go in there. So what we need to do to address that is we need to push the pistons back. And for that, I'm going to use my brake pads piston spreader, this tool right here. This gap is becoming smaller. Okay, there you go. At this point, we should be pretty much ready to replace the rotor. So if all you were doing was pads, I mean, I guess skip ahead. But for people who are addressing the rotors as well, just want to make sure that when I install a new one, I'm not installing it on bad gunk. And here's our new rotor. Just put this on, and there we go. Usually I could leave it on, but I need it to stay steady while I'm working on both the brake adjustment and getting the caliper mounted. So just lug nut. Just want to hold it in place, that's all. So it moves freely. But what I'm going to do is have this aligned over here and then start expanding the brake shoes so that they're not too far. See, I can kind of hear something now that I did not hear initially. So I'm going to ask my helper to go and engage the park brake for me. And it's holding. So the holding is good. I'm happy about that. Release. And when he releases, it releases. So I'm happy. Seems like everything is working as intended. Go ahead and mount the caliper back. Okay, so the top is decent. We're going to work the bottom. There is a torque spec, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's 62 foot-pounds. That's a plug, the whole access hole cover So I'm just touching it in a little bit of lube. I smear it. This allows me to slide it on easier. That's all. Without dropping it in the hole like it did during the removal process. On to work now. So this needs to go in here. So lube this one here, just anywhere that it will be mating with it will be in contact with the caliper. That corner, this corner, it doesn't need that much. This corner. And hopefully things go well as I slide it in. It's a little tap tap. So here, once it's past that, I can usually just wiggle it in. And it's in there. Then this one here, touch it. Just a little dab here and there. So first you want to make sure it's right against the wall as far back as you can. Then you know, course it in. And usually here you can walk it in, usually. There you go, that looks better. Let's try that. There you go, see, the pin just goes in now. Same here, and as you can see, the rotor is in line with the pad. Good enough. So for this, can't really justify why, but I use a different kind of lube, a different brake product. This is real goopy stuff. Touch that over there, a little touch over there. And these are the contact surfaces with the brake pad. I think the manual tells you to put it on the brake pad, but because I'm not really sure how it's going to touch, I just put it on the spring clip. It's going to make it there eventually. Come here, make contact. See, that contact part is what I was talking about. Okay, and we've got contact. Then I'll slide one pin so it can hold it down. Push the centerpiece down. Okay, it's holding it in place, and I'm happy about that. And now I'm going to lube this up quite liberally. With my new lubed up pin, I'm going to go in here and send it into this area. With those pins poking out, I think we're almost done. At this point, usually what I should be doing is turning this so that I can have the pin posted out, but I can't really see right now. I'm really far. So what I'm going to do is I'll go engage the brakes, push the brake, the brake pedal just one time, and then hopefully that should allow me a little more room in there. So just keep an eye on that. Hang tight. So I'm going to come in here, turn this that way. Pin number 1 is going in. And up here, and we're done.